Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. And today I'm joined by...
I'm Ted.
Today we have a viewer question from Alien Files. My players are losing interest. How do I get them back?
You have a viewer suggestion or GM911, you can send those over to us at nerdarchy@gmail.com, or you can head over to the GM911 section of our forums on nerdarchy.com.
So you had some suggestions. What were those again?
Well, essentially, we have a whole slew on Game Master tips of videos that you can go check out. All of them designed to help you be a better GM. First and foremost, if your players are losing interest, you need to find out why. Is the story not compelling to them? Is it not drawing them in? Is it too much combat? Not enough combat? Too much RP? Not enough RP? Every single player comes to a gaming table for one reason or another. I know back in the day, I was all about combat. This guy spent an entire session dealing with my bloodthirsty player character and punishing me, for attacking everything that was under the sun. And nowadays, it's like, yeah, I could go 4 to 6 hours of no combat, just doing RP. I find it fun. So you really need to needle in on those players and find out why are they coming to the table and what's going to stop them from leaving.
Yeah, one of the and this sounds like someone who's playing with maybe their friends or acquaintances or people they know or kind of hanging out, not like just in a game store where anybody shows up. So when you're in a game with people that you know, you're friends with, you're becoming friends with, you're building relationships, like Ted said, get to know those people. Try and understand what they're here for. What do they want? What do they like? Why is the material you're putting out there not engaging them? What does engage them? If you can discern some of their interests outside of the tabletopping, you can probably use that to insert, things that are engaging to them into your game.
But I mean, a direct conversation of what do you want? You could literally allow them to tell you exactly what they want out of the next game and give it to them.
Yeah, was there a session 0? Did you guys kind of put out what they expect, what they're expecting, what you're expecting? We get so many questions where it's like the GM's trying to do everything but actually talk to the players to find out what it is they want.
Now, Alien Files, I don't know if you actually went and spoke to your players or not, if they weren't helpful. If you did and they haven't given you any information and they're still disconnecting, they're not being drawn in, then your next step is to get dynamic, try different things. And every single time you try something, get their reaction. If it's like, all right, I'm going to spice up the combat and be more descriptive. If they're pulling away, all right, put it in an NPC and start, role-playing with them and see whether that's going to pull them in. Find all these different things and figure it out the hard way of what they're looking for.
But it would be much easier to ask them than figuring out the hard way.
No. I'm saying if you've already asked them and they weren't
a response.
Yeah, if they weren't giving you the answer, then yeah, you're going to have to do the hard way. You're going to have to slog it out and try everything and see.
They look bored, blow shit up. Have action going on. The building's on fire. Things are exploding.
But
that NPC you were introduced to, engage them, make them wacky, zany, and crazy. Make them off the wall and in their face, so it's hard to avoid. Think about the things that would really, get a reaction from you in real life, not the game, and then try and insert them into your game. Maybe they're moved by things that are really emotional. Maybe you could try and do that. If you watch drama, really good solid dramatizations or TV shows that have a lot of drama in them, you can steal some cues from that. Introducing personal things to their character that maybe they brought up. Try introducing to certain characters, maybe a love interest would make them more engaged, or an NPC that's like a friend or a mentor. You're just going to have to try different things like that.
Whatever information that links their backstory or their background tie that into the game. The more the players are involved in the story that's happening, the better the story is going to be. You know, Watts and other companies out there, they do a great job of putting out products. If you're ready and wanting to run prepared modules, that's not for us. That's not Nerdarchy's cup of tea. We want, it's more work on the GM to actually come up with and create things either on the fly or in between sessions to be able to run. But they're more unique, they're more dynamic, and they're going to be linked to the characters that are involved, because it's created based off of the happenings at the gaming table.
Well, that being said, if you are running pre-planned adventures, you can always insert little pieces that are key to your characters, or alter little things to make them more geared to the players that are in your game as well.
The NPCs that are there, you can try to link them to the stories. You can take little one-offs from the prepared modules and add in details that are apropos to the characters that are being played.
Yeah, you're really just gonna have to figure out what your players care about and try and insert that into the game. So then they're less likely to lose interest. Maybe it's a pacing issue. Maybe things are moving too slowly for them, or maybe you're moving too fast for them.
There's one other sad possibility. Playing the wrong kind of game. If you're playing D&D and these are more comic book fans, maybe they want a superhero game. Trying different genres of role playing is certainly a way to go. D&D's not for everybody.
Right. We can even mention a little something here that could be heresy as well.
No, you can't say that.
You could play a different gaming system too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something else. You can absolutely try a different system, and there are non-setting specific games out there, Fate, Cypher System, Mutants and Masterminds, where you can literally play anything you want with one set of rules.
Apocalypse Engine. There's definitely a bunch of stuff you can do, and that could be it too. Maybe they would enjoy more of a rules-like game, or maybe they want a more crunchy game. Maybe they want something like Pathfinder, and you're providing something like 5e, and that's not scratching the itch that they have.
Right. So again, it really boils down to talking to the players and finding out what they're going to need. And you can literally say, all right, well, if you're playing 5e and they want more crunch and you're writing the story doesn't need to change. Go ahead and level those characters up in Pathfinder and keep the game going. And if that fixes the problem, great. If not, well, then we try something else.
Right. Yeah. But first off, talk to them and then kind of go out from there. That's the easiest thing you can do. Everything else is a little bit more complex, right. But then that gives you somewhere to move into. So with that, if you guys have some suggestions for Alien Files, drop them in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can head over to nerdarchy.com and check out the store.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.